Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, we've seen a lot of rumors swirling around the Cowboys' offseason plans, and one of the latest and most persistent rumors involves none other than Najee Harris. Yes, Najee Harris, the former first-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers, whose name keeps popping up in conversations about Dallas' potential backfield upgrades. And trust me, this isn't just idle chatter. It's a rumor that refuses to die, and it's got fans everywhere wondering, is there any real substance behind it? To understand the gravity and the nuances of this story, we've got to take a deep dive into Najee Harris' career, his current situation, and what it could mean for the Cowboys if this deal somehow materializes. So, let us rewind a little and talk about Najee Harris himself. The guy is just 28 years old, and coming out of Alabama, he made a splash as a top-tier running back. His rookie season in 2021 was promising, over 200 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns, showing he could handle a high-volume workload in a tough AFC North. But then, the following seasons, while still productive, raised some eyebrows. The Steelers, who had high hopes for him as their feature back, started to show some hesitations. For instance, they declined his fifth-year option for 2025 at around $6.3 million, a move that's often seen as a vote of no confidence, or at least a sign of some uncertainty about his future with the team. If Najee Harris was truly the perfect running back, would Pittsburgh have hesitated like that? That's a question that echoes loudly in NFL circles. Now, as we move closer to the upcoming NFL season, the buzz has intensified. Rumors suggest that Harris isn't just a Pittsburgh project anymore. There's talk about him exploring other options, even though he signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Chargers valued at about $25 million. And let us be clear, the Chargers seem to be pretty happy with his contributions, especially working alongside rookie Omarion Hampton, who has been gaining some attention in training camp. But the question remains, why would Los Angeles give up on Harris after just 1 year? What changed? And more intriguingly, why would Dallas, a team that just recently passed on signing him outright, now be considered a potential landing spot? Here's where things get interesting. The Cowboys, for a long time, have been linked to various veteran backs in free agency and the draft. They've parted ways with Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott, both solid contributors, but it's clear they're looking for something more, maybe a high-floor, dependable back who can contribute immediately and complement their talented but sometimes inconsistent running game. The name Najee Harris keeps popping up in these discussions, often described as a perfect fit or a high-volume, dependable back. But let us pause for a moment. Statements like that need context. Our Cowboys insider Mike Fisher, a guy with years of NFL insight, responded to these rumors with a dose of reality. His take: "There's no such thing as a perfect signing," Fisher said, and he's right, comparing Najee Harris to legends like Lawrence Taylor or Michael Jordan. That's hyperbole. The truth is, Najee is more of a plotter than an explosive, game-changing back. Yes, reliable, yes, always gaining over 1,000 yards in his 4 seasons, but not necessarily the home run hitter or the game breaker that some fans might romanticize. And if Najee Harris is so perfect as some claim, then why did the Steelers, who drafted him and relied on him heavily, decline his 5th-year option? That's a critical point. The Steelers are a franchise that values stability and production. If they didn't see him as worth a $6.3 million investment for 2025, what does that say about his long-term outlook? It suggests they see some limitations, perhaps in explosiveness or consistency. And that's where the skepticism kicks in. Because the Cowboys historically have been more about acquiring backs who can hit the hole quickly, make plays in space, and break tackles, traits that Najee has shown flashes of but not consistently. Fast forward to recent weeks, and the rumors have picked up speed. Now, Dallas had a real opportunity to sign Harris during free agency. He was available, coming off a good 2024 campaign that helped Pittsburgh stay competitive and make the playoffs. Harris is a perennial 1,000-yard rusher, someone who can reliably carry the workload and provide a sense of stability in the backfield. Yet Dallas chose to pass on him, opting instead for Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, and drafting Jadon Blue out of Texas. Was that a mistake? Or was Dallas's front office just waiting for a better option? Well, now Bleacher Report, a prominent NFL media outlet, is suggesting Dallas should trade for Najee Harris. They argue that teams in need of a dependable, high-volume back should at least inquire about his availability. Here's what they say. While he was never a high-level starter with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was a dependable high-volume back who topped 1,000 rushing yards in all 4 campaigns. Dallas should consider adding Harris as a high-floor option in its backfield. That's a pretty compelling argument on paper. But in reality, things aren't always so straightforward. Because again, the question remains, why would the Steelers turn down a relatively modest fifth-year option if they believed he was the franchise's future? And why would Harris, who signed a 1-year deal with the Chargers, suddenly become the ideal addition for Dallas? It raises more questions than answers. Let us consider the logic here. The Chargers, who signed Harris to a 1-year deal, seem content working him into their system, especially alongside a rookie like a Marion Hampton. Why would they give up on him so quickly? Did something change in Los Angeles? Did Harris's play decline, or is it just a matter of fit? Because if Harris was so perfect, why did Dallas not pursue him more aggressively? Why did they pass up on him initially? These are questions that don't have clear answers yet, and that's part of what makes this rumor so intriguing. Now, from a Cowboys perspective, this entire saga highlights a broader point about their approach to the backfield. Jerry Jones, the owner, has always been aggressive in making moves, but sometimes the logic doesn't seem to follow a clear pattern. They've invested in young talent and veteran depth, but they've also shown reluctance to pay higher prices for proven commodities. Signing Najee Harris, who might command around $10 million per year in free agency, would be a significant financial commitment. So, does that align with Dallas's strategy? Or is this just wishful thinking fueled by media speculation? Honestly, it's a bit of both. And let us not forget the other side of the coin. The Cowboys have a very talented and versatile backfield, with Tony Pollard leading the charge, complemented by rookies and other veterans. They've shown they're willing to invest in the position, but perhaps not at the price point Harris might demand. Plus, the draft remains an option, with talented backs like Jadon Blue working to prove they can step in as potential future stars. So, adding Harris might be more about strengthening an already formidable unit, rather than fixing a glaring hole. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. Recently, Micah Parsons, the star linebacker and a leader on this Cowboys team, sent a clear message to Jerry Jones. Now, I won't spoil the details, but suffice it to say, Parsons' voice is increasingly influential, and he is advocating for the Cowboys to be bold and aggressive. Whether that means making a splash for a veteran like Najee Harris or pushing the front office to make other bold moves, the message is clear. The Cowboys are ready to take a big step forward, and that could mean re-evaluating some of their previous hesitations about certain players or price tags. Now, as training camp approaches, the excitement among Cowboys fans is palpable. Everyone is looking for that next move that could elevate the team to the next level. And although many are skeptical about the idea of trading for Najee Harris, the fact that his name keeps coming up indicates there is at least some interest behind the scenes. Is it just media hype? Or are the Cowboys quietly exploring options? Only time will tell. But let us take a moment to appreciate the bigger picture. The Cowboys, in recent years, have built a reputation for being strategic and sometimes cautious, especially in free agency. They've had their hits and misses, but overall they've shown a willingness to adapt and improve. The core of this team: Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb is young, talented, and hungry. Their window to win a Super Bowl is still open, and every move they make now could be pivotal. So whether or not Najee Harris ends up wearing the star this season, one thing is certain: the Cowboys are constantly looking for ways to get better. They're reevaluating talent, weighing options, and listening to their star players like Parsons, who clearly want to see this team push all in. It is a fascinating time for Cowboys Nation, filled with speculation, hope, and the anticipation of what is to come. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Najee Harris would be a game changer for the Cowboys? Or do you think the rumors are just that, rumors? Personally, I think this offseason is going to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and the moves made in the next few weeks could define the team's trajectory for years. So stay tuned, because I'll be right here bringing you all the latest updates, insights, and analysis. The Cowboys are on the rise, and this season could be something special. Don't miss out. And remember, folks, it's not just about one player or one move. It's about the vision, strategy, and the passion that makes Cowboys Nation one of the most dedicated fan bases in the NFL. We've seen what this team can do when everything clicks, and I believe they're still capable of competing at the highest level. So keep your eyes peeled, stay fired up, and let us get ready for an epic season ahead. Thanks for being here, and as always, I'll be back soon with more news, more analysis, and more reasons to love our Dallas Cowboys. Stay safe, stay loud, and as always, go Cowboys.